Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Otto slouched on the living room couch, mindlessly flipping through channels on the TV. Carlene walked in, a determined expression on her face. She stepped in front of the television, hands on her hips. "We need to talk," she announced firmly. Otto sighed and muted the TV. "What now? I'm trying to relax here." Carlene's eyes narrowed. "That's just it. All you do is sit around expecting me to take care of everything. The housework, the cooking, the bills. I'm tired of it, Otto." He shrugged nonchalantly. "Hey, I work hard all day. I deserve some downtime when I get home." She let out an exasperated laugh. "And you think I don't work hard? I put in just as many hours as you do, plus I handle everything else around here." Carlene took a deep breath, trying to rein in her frustration. "Look, I think we need help. I found this couple's retreat that I really think could benefit us." Otto groaned and rolled his eyes. "One of those touchy-feely workshops? No, thanks. I don't need some quack shrink telling me how to be a better husband." "Well, clearly what we're doing isn't working," Carlene snapped. She softened her tone. "Please, Otto. Our marriage is hanging by a thread. If you care about us at all, you'll do this for me." Otto looked at his wife's pleading face. Despite his selfishness, deep down he did love Carlene. With a heavy sigh, he relented. "Fine, I'll go, but I'm not going to like it." Carlene smiled, relief flooding through her. "Thank you. I really think this will be good for us. We leave Friday morning." As Carlene turned to go start packing, Otto unmuted the TV, dread already building in his gut about this couple's retreat. What the hell had he just agreed to? The secluded retreat center was nestled in the mountains, surrounded by towering pines and aspens. Otto parked their SUV in the gravel lot outside the main lodge. He cut the engine and glanced over at Carlene. "You sure about this place?" he asked skeptically. "Looks a bit rustic." Carlene consulted the brochure in her lap. "It's supposed to help couples get back to basics, away from all the distractions and routines. An immersive experience." Otto grunted noncommittally as they grabbed their bags and headed inside. A perky woman with a clipboard greeted them in the foyer with a megawatt smile. "Welcome! You must be Otto and Carlene. We're so glad you're here," she gushed. "I'm Trisha, one of the facilitators. Let's get you checked in and settled." As they followed Trisha down the hall, Otto leaned in and whispered to Carlene, "She's way too chipper. I don't trust her." Carlene elbowed him and hissed, "Be nice. We're here to work on us, remember?" Trisha showed them to their rustic but charming cabin. "Get freshened up and relax a bit. We'll have a group welcome dinner in the main lodge at 6 p.m. to kick things off. See you there." After she left, Otto tossed his duffel bag on the bed and looked around. No TV, no Wi-Fi, no cell service. What the hell are we supposed to do? Whittle? Carlene shot him a look as she unpacked her suitcase. "We're supposed to talk to each other, bond, reconnect without all the usual distractions." "Sounds riveting," Otto deadpanned. But seeing Carlene's hopeful expression, he bit back any further snarky remarks. He had to at least try to make an effort. For her. At dinner that evening, Otto and Carlene met the other couples attending the retreat. They were a diverse mix. Young newlyweds, empty nesters, same-sex partners. But they all shared one thing in common, a desire to strengthen their relationship. After the meal, Trisha and her husband Mark, the retreat co-facilitators, gathered everyone together. "We're so excited to have you all here," Trisha began, her smile warm and engaging. "This week is all about breaking out of the unproductive patterns and roles that are holding your relationship back. It's time to shake things up." Mark nodded and added, "Each day we'll have a variety of sessions and exercises designed to help you see your dynamic in a new light, to rediscover why you fell in love in the first place." Otto tried not to visibly cringe. This all sounded like a bunch of New Age mumbo-jumbo to him. But Carlene was listening intently, clearly buying into every word. Trisha continued, Tomorrow we're going to start with an intriguing little exercise in role reversal. It should be very illuminating." She gave a mysterious little smile. "But that's all I'll say for now. Sleep well, and we'll see you in the morning." As the group dispersed back to their cabins, Otto turned to Carleen with a raised eyebrow. "Role reversal? What do you think that means? Are you going to have to go chop wood while I try to make daisy chains?" he joked. Carleen gave him a playful shove as they walked. "Oh, hush. I'm sure it will be insightful. Let's just keep an open mind, okay?" "No promises," Otto retorted with a smirk. But seeing Carleen's hopeful smile, he added more sincerely, "But I'll try. For you." Back in their cozy cabin, they changed into pajamas and climbed into the plush bed. As Otto reached over to turn off the bedside lamp, Carleen snuggled up to him, resting her head on his chest. "Thank you for doing this," she murmured. "I know it's not your thing, but it means a lot to me that you're here." Otto stroked her hair and pulled her closer. "I'd do anything for you, Carly, even if it means bearing my soul to a bunch of strangers and eating vegan for a week." Carleen giggled and tilted her face up to kiss him. "My hero, but who knows? Maybe you'll learn something about yourself. Stranger things have happened. I already know everything about myself. I'm an open book, baby," Otto teased. She sighed contentedly and settled against him. "We'll see about that. But no matter what, I love you, Otto. Even when you drive me crazy. I love you too, Carly," he whispered, dropping a kiss on the top of her head. "No matter what happens this week, that will never change." They drifted off to sleep, wrapped in each other's arms, both hoping this retreat would be the answer to mending the fractures in their marriage, that it would help them find their way back to the unshakable love and passion they once shared. Little did Otto know, he was in for a week that would shake him to his very core. That would make him question everything he thought he knew about himself, his marriage, and his role as a husband. He had no idea what was in store. But one thing was certain: life with Carleen would never be the same again. The next morning, after a hearty breakfast, the couples gathered in the main room for their first session. Trisha and Mark stood at the front, both wearing eager smiles. "Today, we're going to start off with an enlightening little exercise," Trisha began, her eyes twinkling with anticipation. "We're going to do a bit of role reversal." Mark nodded and continued. "In many relationships, we fall into certain patterns and roles. They may have made sense initially, but over time, they can start to feel restrictive, limiting, even damaging." Otto glanced at Carleen uncertainly. Where was this going? Carleen gave him an encouraging smile and squeezed his hand. "So today, and for the rest of the week, we're going to mix things up," Trisha explained, rubbing her hands together. "The men are going to take on the traditional, feminine duties. Housework, cooking, childcare if you have kids, while the women get to kick back, relax, and be catered to, just like the men usually do." A murmur rippled through the group. Some of the men looked intrigued, others wary. Otto was definitely in the latter camp. Carleen's hand shot up. "What's the point of this? How will this help our relationship?" she asked, ever the analytical one. Mark smiled at her. "Great question. The goal is twofold. One, to build empathy by walking a mile in your partner's shoes, to viscerally understand the work they do that perhaps you take for granted." Trisha nodded. "And two, to shake up the energetic dynamic between you. In many relationships, one partner, often the woman, is the overgiver, the overdoer, while the other, often the man, grows complacent, even entitled. This imbalance builds resentment over time." Otto shifted uncomfortably in his seat. This was hitting a little too close to home. He often took for granted all Carleen did, simply expected her to handle everything without lifting a finger himself. "By flipping the script, so to speak," Mark continued, "it gives the overgiver a chance to receive, to have their needs met for once, and the overtaker gets to experience the joy of generosity, of serving their partner selflessly. It's a chance to really appreciate all your partner does for you," Trisha added with a meaningful look around the room. and perhaps realize you could stand to step it up yourself. As the first day of the role reversal exercise got underway, Otto found himself in the unfamiliar position of handling all the domestic duties. Trisha directed the men to a separate room where racks of frilly aprons and floral dresses awaited them. To fully embrace your new roles, you'll need to dress the part, she chirped, gesturing to the feminine attire. Pick an outfit that speaks to you and really commit to embodying the traditional housewife persona. The other men chuckled good-naturedly as they perused the racks, but Otto balked. Carlene nudged him and whispered, "Remember, you promised to keep an open mind? For me?" With a resigned sigh, Otto selected a ruffled yellow apron and begrudgingly put it on over his flannel shirt and jeans. He felt ridiculous, but seeing Carlene's appreciative smile made it almost worth it. Almost. Meanwhile, Carlene and the other women were treated to a luxurious spa morning. As she received a blissful massage, Carlene's mind drifted to Otto. She pictured him fumbling around the kitchen, attempting to prepare lunch for her. The thought brought an amused smile to her face. By the time Carlene returned to their cabin, refreshed and pampered, Otto was a frazzled mess. His apron was splattered with various food stains, his hair disheveled from running his fingers through it in frustration. The usually tidy cabin looked like a tornado had blown through. "Honey, I'm home," Carlene called out playfully as she walked in. The traditional greeting felt amusingly apropos with their reversed roles. Otto emerged from the kitchen, wiping his hands on his apron. "Oh, good. You're back," he said, sounding relieved. I made lunch, emphasis on made. It didn't turn out quite like I hoped." Carlene bit back a laugh at the chaotic state of the kitchen. Dirty pots and pans were piled in the sink, remnants of Otto's culinary misadventures. On the table sat 2 rather sad-looking sandwiches, the bread slightly burnt around the edges. "I'm sure it's delicious," she assured him, pressing a kiss to his cheek. "Thank you for making lunch, Otto. I appreciate all your hard work." He grumbled something unintelligible, clearly feeling out of his element, but he pulled out a chair for Carlene, clumsily mimicking the gentlemanly gesture. As they ate, Carlene filled Otto in on her wonderful spa experience. "It was absolutely divine," she gushed. "I can't remember the last time I felt so relaxed and cared for. Usually I'm the one doing the caring and pampering." Otto paused mid-bite, a flicker of guilt crossing his face. "I guess I never realized how much you do for me, for us, how much you pour into this relationship." Carlene reached over and squeezed his hand. "That's why we're here, Otto. To gain a new perspective, to really see and appreciate each other." As the day went on, Otto struggled to keep up with the endless domestic tasks: laundry, dusting, dishes. It was a constant cycle of drudgery. He collapsed onto the couch, physically and mentally drained. Carlene walked in looking refreshed and energetic after an afternoon hike with the other women. She took in Otto's disheveled state with a sympathetic smile. "Tough day, dear?" she asked, a hint of amusement in her voice as she perched on the arm of the couch. Otto let out a weary chuckle. "I don't know how you do it, Carly. Keeping the house running, taking care of everything. It's exhausting. I have a whole new respect for all you do." Pride swelled in Carlene's chest at his words. Finally, he was starting to understand. To see her, really see her, and all she contributed to their life together. "Well, I think you've earned a break," she said, standing up and holding out her hand to him. "Why don't you go take a hot bath and relax? I'll finish up the dishes and start on dinner." Otto looked up at her incredulously. "You sure? I feel bad leaving you with more work after the day I've had." Carlene smiled reassuringly. "I'm sure. Let me take care of you for a change. It's what partners do." Gratitude and affection surged through Otto as he let Carlene pull him up from the couch and guide him towards the bathroom. Maybe there was something to this role reversal thing after all. Over the next few days, Otto found himself settling into a rhythm with the household duties. He no longer fumbled with the vacuum or burned the toast. Caring for Carlene, anticipating and attending to her needs, started to feel natural. even fulfilling. And with each home-cooked meal, each freshly laundered blouse, Carlene lavished him with praise and appreciation. Otto basked in her approval, a warm glow kindling in his chest. He began to crave it, that rush of pleasure at putting a satisfied smile on his wife's face. Their dynamic began to shift in subtle ways. Carlene grew more assertive, decisive. She would give Otto gentle directions. "Honey, could you please fold the towels a bit neater?" And he would eagerly comply. Otto found himself slipping into a more submissive mindset. Pleasing Carlene became his top priority. He took pride in being her dutiful house husband, in making her life easier and more comfortable. Carlene took the lead more often. He surrendered to her completely, finding exquisite bliss in letting her take control. One evening, Carlene stroked Otto's hair as his head rested on her chest. "You've been such a good husband lately. I like this new side of you." Otto's heart swelled at her praise, a contented hum rumbling in his throat. "I like it too," he admitted softly. "I like making you happy, Carly. I feel, I don't know, cherished, fulfilled in a way I never have before." Carlene smiled, trailing her fingers down his spine. "You are cherished, my love, deeply, and I feel so loved and appreciated by you. Like we're true partners now." Otto lifted his head to meet her eyes, his own shining with devotion. "We are, in every way. I want to serve you." Carlene cupped his face, thumb stroking his cheekbone. "Oh, Otto, I didn't realize how much I longed to hear those words from you." "To feel respected." As the retreat drew to a close, it was clear that Otto and Carlene's relationship would never be the same. The role reversal exercise had cracked them both open, allowing them to step into new ways of relating to and cherishing each other. On the last night, Trisha and Mark invited each couple to share their biggest takeaways from the week. When it was their turn, Carlene spoke first. "This experience has been transformative," she began, glancing at Otto with a tender smile. "It's shown me the joy of being cared for, of receiving. And it's given me permission to embrace my more dominant side, both in and out of the bedroom." A few knowing chuckles rippled through the group. Otto ducked his head, a blush staining his cheeks. But he looked pleased, proud even. "And Otto?" Mark prompted. "What has this week taught you?" Otto cleared his throat, gathering his thoughts. "It's taught me the deep satisfaction of putting my partner first, of anticipating and meeting her needs. I feel more connected to Carlene, more appreciative of her than ever." He reached over and took Carlene's hand, lacing their fingers together. "This retreat has given us a profound gift. It's shown me my true place, my purpose, and that's to love and serve my incredible wife, in whatever form that takes." Carlene's eyes misted as she squeezed Otto's hand. "I've never felt so loved," she said softly. "So truly seen and cherished. We've found a new equilibrium, one that fulfills us both on the deepest level." As the group applauded and congratulated them, Otto leaned over and whispered in Carlene's ear, "Thank you for bringing us here, for believing in us, in me." As Otto and Carlene drove home from the couple's retreat, a sense of giddy anticipation hung in the air between them. The week had been nothing short of transformative, upending their relationship dynamic in the most delicious ways. Otto gazed out the passenger window, his mind replaying the intimate moments from the past few days, the deep satisfaction he felt as he tended to the housework, knowing his efforts pleased and pampered his wife. Carlene glanced over at him, a mischievous smile playing at her lips. "Penny for your thoughts, my love." Otto turned to her, his eyes shining with devotion. "Just thinking about how much has changed between us, in the best possible way. I feel closer to you than ever, Carly." She reached over and squeezed his thigh, her touch sending a shiver through him. "Me too, Otto. And the changes are just beginning. I have so many delightful plans for you." Otto's breath caught at the implication in her words. "Oh? Do tell." Carlene smiled. All in good time, darling. But let's just say, I quite like this new side of you, and I intend to nurture it extensively. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.